All right, we are live. Welcome in, everyone. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Shouting y'all out. It is Wednesday evening, and we have some things for you all tonight. Talking God and Money Part One. But first, let's give everybody a few moments to come on in, saying what's up to you all. My man Wendell in the chat. What's going on? Let me share some of my page too. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me get this shared to my page, y'all. What's good? What's good? That's my man Jonathan in the building. What's up, man? What's up, man? Hello, Laura. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Isaiah? Cheryl. Yeah, I'm looking down for a second. I'm sharing this to my page too. So give me a second here. I'm checking y'all out though. It's God and Money Part One tonight. This right here is all about us saying we are making the decision to get our finances together to grow tonight. And so this is a fam. This is a simple one that you want to go ahead and share. Like we're talking all things financial. Listen, all things financial tonight. I have a guest coming on with me in a moment, not yet. In a moment, they're phenomenal. We have an amazing discussion. This is one you want to send to, man, I'm telling you, your family, listen, your cousins, your friend, because we're gonna walk through some practical things tonight. Financial. Listen, we put our squads on pause just for a second. The teaching aspect this week because we wanted to give them a pause, but also be able to speak into this area as we are going into the holidays. It's a very important time of year. And so, yes, go ahead and share this to your page. If you're on YouTube, text the link out. Let's get everybody locked in and watching this. Hold on one second. Let me get this thing shared properly so I can give y'all my full attention. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm pulling up the stream, y'all. What's up? What's up? I see y'all. You're coming in strong tonight. I like to see it. 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 Listen, as you are coming in, let me ask you all a question. If you can ask one question regarding finances, it can be anything. Drop it in the chat. What would that one question be? If you could ask anything, where's the stream? Oh, there it is. If you could ask anything regarding finances, what would it be? What would it be? What would it be? Let me get the share here. All right. Yeah, I'm sharing this to my Facebook as well. Share it. Boom. I shared it. Cool. I shared it. Boom. Yep. Yep. So I'm in here with y'all sharing it. If you can ask one question as it relates to finances, what would that one question be? What would it be? I can see the chat as well. It's gonna be a good night, y'all. It's gonna be a good night. In fact, while y'all are putting that in the chat, let me pray for you here. God, we thank you for tonight. Everything that's going to be shared, everything that's going to be all the questions, all the growth that will happen tonight. We honor you for it in advance as we choose to honor you with everything that you've given us in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 That's it. Listen, before I bring my guest in, I need to make sure y'all put some questions in the chat. If you could ask anything as it relates to finances, what would it be? Drop it in, drop it in, drop it in. Just so you all know, so we're all on the same page. We shared a text last Sunday from Luke chapter 16, and it was talking about how we all have to give account. It talks about how we're all built to be creative, we're built to be shrewd, we're built to be forward thinking, and that one day, yes, we all will give account for like how we have managed or stewarded what God has given us. And tonight we're going to take that text and then take that text next level. All right. And so listen, if y'all are putting it, I can't see it yet. If y'all are putting it in, but make sure drop it in the chat. And you can ask anything regarding finances. Drop it in the chat. What would that one question be? And then once those questions start coming in, I'm going to introduce our she's not even a guest. She's incredible, and you're gonna know who it is as soon as I bring it on. But I gotta make sure we have at least a few questions in the chat before I do this, because man, it's only right. It's only right. It's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a great night for sure, for sure, for sure. One that I have one texting actually. Um, okay, okay. What's one tip that I would share to avoid overspending in the holidays? That's one that I had on my side. What's one tip that I would share to avoid overspending? You can definitely rock with that, for sure, for sure, for sure. Listen, I'm about to bring my special guest in. Listen, live up the chat. If you're ready for tonight, type the word "ready" in the chat. If you are ready, for tonight, you shared this already, and you're ready to go tonight. I want you to type that word. Put the word "ready." Put the word "ready" in the chat. I see it. The word is "ready." Put it in the chat. Ready, 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 ready. Yep, ready. I like it. Let's go. Listen, I have a very special person coming through tonight. We're gonna do this big tonight. We're gonna grow. Her name is Cheryl Lawson. She is an entrepreneur. She owns her own insurance agency. She deals with finances every single day. She's been rocking with the house since day one. She's a day one person. I actually knew her before the church ever began. And so I want to bring her in and we're going to talk tonight. Welcome to the platform, Cheryl Lawson. What's up, Cheryl?
Hi, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good stuff. Good stuff. How was your day?
It was good. We had a Friendsgiving today, so we ate good and fellowshipped, and it was really good. It was awesome.
Super good. Super. Are you still at the office?
I am.
You're at the office. Got it.
Yes,
Got it. Got it. Nice. Nice. How was the intro? Was that solid?
That was solid. That sounded good. That's like, yeah, that sounded like me.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about what God's going to do tonight. So I was looking for the questions. I know y'all have questions.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some preset here too. I got some preset here that we got in advance. And so this is gonna be good tonight. This is gonna be good tonight. And Cheryl, listen, she's no like most of y'all, if you're new here tonight, obviously, like we're probably both new to you, so we're glad you're here. But if you're part of the Life fam, you already know. You already know Cheryl already. She's always a host on stage, all that kind of good stuff too. So listen, no delay. I want to get right into this tonight, Cheryl. All right, we're going to give them just no fluff, just straight information, right? So that we can all grow together. And here's what I want to do. Just kind of starting off, Cheryl, is like obviously like you deal with people every day, right? You're dealing with people with financial matters every day. If you could give people just like one tip as it relates to how to not overspend, right? How to not overspend these holiday season. What advice or what's one tip that you would give them for the holidays?
I mean, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Honestly though, I think that what can help us, especially during this time, is if we, like you told us even on Sunday, we have to sit down and we have to take account of everything that we have coming in, look at what's coming in and what's going out, and it has to make sense. So if you already know that you have an X amount of dollars coming in and you already have these bills that have to go out, that have to be paid, then why are you going to put yourself in a financial hole spending money that you really don't have? So the first thing is you need to be realistic, take account with what you currently have and where your money is going, know where your money is going, and invest in the right things. There are things that we purchase during the holidays that I have a Christmas gift I bought my daughter that she never opened. It's still in the box, and it was pretty costly. This was years back. So I learned my lesson. Make sure you're investing in the right things that actually make sense. So that's my tip.
Tip. I like it. I'm gonna share one. I'm gonna share one as well. I really like yours. I'm gonna share one as well. Make sure you are all. I think we can get the most benefit out of these kind of discussions when it's like live, action-packed questions, right? And so all through tonight, I want you all to ask questions in the chat as you're hearing things, as you're thinking of things, because when direct questions can be answered, it just adds so much value to the conversation as well. And so if I also share one thing outside of what Cheryl shared, I think is really, really important, it would be this. It would be as you are thinking about, obviously you want to be able to like get gifts for people or whatever. I think there's a step prior to that we should be thinking about, and that is, where do I want to be? Answer this question: where do I want to be 1 year from now? Don't go 10 yet. Don't go 5 yet. Where do I want to be financially 1 year from now? Right? And not to say that one shopping season is going to throw off your goal, but what I am saying is it's going to put you in a mindset to think differently about finances. And then from there, that helps us make better decisions. And so put that in the chat. Where do I want to be 1 year from now? I want you to think about that. Where do I want to be 1 year from now? What's up, Lisa? Blessings to you as well. Where do I want to be 1 year from now? Drop that in the chat. This is something that gets us just thinking of, differently about what's upcoming, what's going on, all that good stuff as well, right? And so with this, I want to get more into this, Cheryl. So there's Sunday. I mentioned something that I know you deal with your customers all the time, right? And so I shared with them about building a foundation, right? Having protection for them for their finances. Then I also talked about us planning for the future, right? Now, because you deal with people on an ongoing basis, like, are you finding that people are well prepared for their future from your perspective, or are you finding that that's not so much the case? Just from your experiences, how would you answer that?
That's a good question. I see both sides. So you do have some people that they come in with all, they have everything in order. They're prepared for their future. They have all the their assets, and they know where everything is going. They have their budgeting down, and they have their financial portfolio is set. But then that's, to be honest, that's a small portion of the people I see. That tends to be, when I see that, it's typically 50 and older. But the majority of what I see is people that they're just ready for right now. They're just worried about today. I need auto insurance so I can get from point A to point B. When I start having conversations with them, I've met people that, they don't know how to invest. They don't know about life insurance. They don't know about, they're not thinking about their future as much as they should be. And what's really striking is that a lot of the people that I find like that are the ones that really should be more concerned about their future, because they have children and family and loved ones and homes and assets, things that need protection, and they're not, they don't know how to protect. Like a lot of what I'm finding is people just don't know. They haven't been taught, and it's unfortunate, but I try to be that tool for them to show them things that they can do now, so that in the future they can have financial peace.
That's good. So, like, let's take that what you just shared. So say someone comes to you in the chat. Someone in the chat comes to you, and maybe they're not prepared for the future.
Mhm.
What type of conversations do you begin to have with them? Like, what does that sound like?
Well, at first, I just start to get to know them. I don't like to pressure people, or because what I find, what I talk to people about are things people don't like to talk about on a daily basis, right? But so what I try to do in those instances, I'm not selling them anything. I'm just having conversation. I'm getting to know you. I want to know about your family. I want to know where you're from. What do you do? How much do you earn? How many kids do you have? What are your kids' names? What are some of the things that they like to do? Where do you want to go? Like, do you have any plans to retire? Do you have any plans to maybe renovate your home? Are you planning on traveling in the future? So I kind of I do like what I call a discovery conversation. And in that discovery
Okay.
conversation, I get to learn about them. And I find that a lot of people have plans, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to get those accomplished. So I'll hear things that I know they want to do, but they just don't know how to get there. They don't know where the funds are going to come from or how to protect their families. They just know what they want. So I just start having a conversation. And from the conversation is when I find out a lot more about that person and what they need.
That's good. That's good. You said something key. You said you have that discovery conversation with them, right?
Mhm.
That lines up perfectly with something that came out Sunday. So in Luke 16, the person that was about to be fired, right? The manager was about to be fired. And I shared Sunday that he had to have a meeting with himself
Yeah.
to discover, in this case, what he was going to do next in Luke 16, right? And so as he began to have that, in this case, discovery conversation, he started thinking about ways that he could settle the accounts to put himself in a position to be better off in the future,
Yeah.
right? Like that's when I think about discovery, I think about that. Like many times we attempt to hide things or pretend they're not there, ignore them when it comes to finances, Cheryl, and that actually makes it worse,
Right.
right? And so, like having that kind of conversation and having someone like yourself that can as a professional provide insight, I think is absolutely vital for sure, for sure. I see something in the chat. Could you put Isaiah, Lisa's, or Terry's question on the screen or statement on the screen? This is good. Can you see that, Cheryl? I'll love you to respond to that.
Okay. Because all of a sudden, it was a wake up call for all of us, and we quickly got life insurance. Knowledge is power, and the importance of sharing with others. That's Lisa. That's so real what you said, because I find a lot of times it takes an event. And first of all, I'm so sorry about your father-in-law passing. My condolences. But I find that when things happen is normally when people respond. It's like
Mm.
they get triggered, and it's we want to prepare people so they don't have to go through things and then respond, because there are people that they wait too late. So it does take sometimes things like that do occur, and that's when I have people come in here or they're calling me. I've also had people coming in after someone died thinking they had life insurance and they didn't have it. So knowledge
Mm.
is power, and it's just like you said, we just sharing it with others is big too. We just need to know. We need to know that it's actually very important, why it's important, and also that it's doable. Like you can actually afford it. It's not a lot of people, I don't know, they weren't trained about life insurance, so they don't really understand it. And I'm here to just help them understand it more.
No, that's really good. Like I wanna get into that a bit here, right? Because what I hear there is the word I hear the word preparation.
Hmm.
Um and preparation it's almost like a get making decisions in the present that prepare us for the future as well. You shared something earlier. You said I guess like you said, a lot of those who you may encounter, speak with at your office, maybe typically those under 50 may not be as prepared as those who are over 50. And it's just a number, right? You kind of mentioned there. And so I think like that's really critical, that we get prepared in advance in case anything does happen. And this is not a comfortable conversation. Let's just be honest, it's not comfortable at all. But I think it's better to have the convo and be prepared than to not have the convo. And now your family is stuck with having to make decisions and carry a weight because we chose to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's
Right?
good. And I mean, that's all that it is. It's just getting over that, whatever it is, if it's fair, you have to be honest with yourself. For some people, it's fair. For some people, it's just they look at it as a bill. Like I have to pay an extra bill. And I try to explain to people when you're looking at life insurance or anything that's an asset or that's protecting your family and your assets, you don't want to look at it as a bill. Look at it as something that you need, something that you have to have. Um, it's so necessary for us to educate or people, the younger generation, that anything can happen. We have people are here today, gone tomorrow. You see things happening in the news every day. Um, we know anything can happen, so why not prepare for the unexpected?
Yeah.
And then, of course, what I tell people, if that's not the only goal for having life insurance, we're talking about God and money part one. So think about it also as an asset. It's something that you can actually invest in and you can actually get lifetime benefits. So that's the other side of it. So there's different sides of life insurance. And that's why knowledge is power, Lisa, because once you learn more about life insurance and the different aspects of it and what all it can do, a lot of people will be surprised and will probably be running trying to get some life insurance because it has so many needs, so many things that you can accomplish with it.
No, agreed. Like it's such a, as you are sharing here, it's such a needed part of the financial picture.
Mhm.
And so in a moment, I want to have you break it down, right? The different types, what it is, all that kind of good stuff. I think this is a good question here, right? A good topic. Um, and so I wanna wipe the slate clean. If you would clear the screen for me, Isaiah, I want you all to do something for me right here, right? So next week is Thanksgiving. Okay. On Thanksgiving, you're going to have a variety of things on your plate.
Hmm.
Okay, the plate's round, right? For some of you, maybe not all of you, you're going to have some type of dessert, right? Afterwards. Let's just use pie for example, right? And if I was to throw something out, I would guess that you're not going to just take the whole pie and just like eat it. Like you're going to cut a slice of it and eat a slice, right? When it comes to how to prepare for the future, just like that slice of pie, slice of cake, and whatever you're going to eat next week, everything has its place on your plate, right? What happens is when it comes to many people and finances, is that we choose what we put on the plate, but it's not balanced properly.
Mm.
So imagine on Thanksgiving, no one here is going to put a plate full of candy. You're not. No one's going to do that. You're going to have different types of food on your plate. Well, when it comes to your financial picture, right, I want to walk us through some things you want to have on your plate to build a solid plan and a solid financial picture. It's game time, right, y'all? All right, here it is. And then after this, we're gonna go to Windows statement and then have Cheryl break down some insurance stuff here as well. All right. And so, as a part of your financial picture, I want you all to write this down. Class is officially in session. All right. Here's the first thing: is I want you to put it in the chat and put it in your notes. The word is aware. I want us to be aware of where we are financially. What does that mean practically? It means I want you to take a piece of paper, a document, type it out, whatever it is, and I want you to make note of clearly what you bring in and what goes out on a monthly basis. What's coming in and what's going out. I'm not talking about credit. That's the word is aware. No credit for a moment. Simply what do we make or what do I make minus my monthly expenses. And I want you to get that number, right? This is going to be your homework for later. I want you to get that number, okay? If it's a positive number, great. If it's a negative number, we got work to do as well, right? Regardless of which one it is, it's all good. I need for you to know that number because that's showing you, hey, have I put too much on my plate that's intended to be there? Am I overeating in an area? Am I overspending in an area? I want you to make note of what that is, right? Here's step number 2 after aware is this. Write the word decide. Decide, okay? Decide is this, is I want you to go through your expenses and decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. All right? The first thing is aware. Second is to decide. You're deciding what needs to stay, what needs to go. Obviously, your mortgage, your rent, that stuff is there, right? You want to begin to identify in your decisions what needs to stay, what needs to go. When many people do this, what you're going to find is there are some things that may be automatically coming out of your account, or maybe it's certain areas that's having more than needed spending in them. You're going to find that there is some areas to trim the fat, if you will, when you do this. Okay, that is to decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. All right. And the last one for now that I'm going to give you in part 1 is this. Now I'm pulling Cheryl in to answer what Wendell said, and then talk about some insurance stuff too, right? So after aware, after to decide, now it's time to build. What do I mean by that? It means when it comes to your financial picture, you want to have, all right, you want to build to the place of having a minimum of 3 to 6 months of savings, right? While reducing debt. Some of you all hear that and you're like, man, that's a lot. It is. It's work, right? But it's going to give you some stability in case things change, in case things get altered. We live in a world where many people are 1 month away from bankruptcy, 1 month away from 1 month away from something like crazy happening. Cheryl, I'm gonna let you pick it up here for insurance, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. So I like what you said when you said decide what needs to stay and what needs to go, because one of the main things I hear from people is they can't afford life insurance.
Yep.
They'll say, well, I have so many things I'm paying for, but I always end up telling them you can't afford to not have life insurance. You just can't afford that because you see it out here. People come up with GoFundMe's. There are people that are, when their loved ones pass away, their family wars are, fighting over this and that. And life insurance could help prevent all of that. It also could provide peace. I like to use stories. So I had a client that came in here. She was in her 40s, early 40s, and she came just for her auto and home insurance. She was a business owner, and she had 3 boys. So in the discovery, I was telling y'all earlier, I spoke with her, got to learn more about her, and I found out that she was a mom. She was a business owner. She had children, all under the age of 18, and I realized then that, well, how much, I asked her how much life insurance she had, and she didn't have any. I did what I call a life needs analysis. That's where I, dissect your life needs by asking questions about, your mortgage. What do you owe on your home? What do you owe on any loans that need to be paid off? I find out how much income you're making annually. Something were to happen to you, we need to replace that income because your family lives off of that income. We find out your final expenses. Some people want cremation, some people want burial. Which one do you want? And then we have education. Do you have children that still need to go to college? We want to make sure their college expenses are covered. So we go through the whole analysis, and I found that she actually needed closer to $1 million in life insurance. But at the time, I was able to get her to commit to 500,000, which would still cover a lot of her needs. This customer ended up passing 6 months later. It was sudden, and her husband came in, and like I said, young lady passed suddenly. She got sick, and then that was it. And knowing that her family was not protected, her 3 boys that she said she wanted to see all 3 of her children go to college. She still had a home. She still had a mortgage. She was the breadwinner in her household. Everybody's household is different. But she was able to make a decision for her family. She made a decision that helped set up her children and her family's future. And that decision has to be made. And I always tell people, like Pastor Alex said, make it happen. Find a way, you have to cut some things out. I've had some people cut off cable so they can have life insurance. What's more important, cable, life insurance? I mean, I've had people have to remove some extra expenses. If you go through your bank account, if you're anything like me, sometimes I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, what is this? I'm still paying for this. This subscription to what? I don't even remember when was the last time. I mean, a lot of those things, they add up. How much are you eating out a week? Do you get your hair done every week? Can you get it done twice a month? Whatever you need to do to make sure that you have the right things in place for your future, to build your financial future. So, Pastor Alex, I think you wanted me to go over the different types.
Yeah. Well, first, can you
have a question? Sorry.
Can you put Isaiah Windows there, right there? What's your thoughts on this here, Cheryl?
Should we focus on burial and funeral or more when we think about amount of coverage? That's a good question, because what I tend to do, Wendell, when I'm talking to people about life insurance, everybody has a different approach. My approach is, first of all, finding out what you need. And when I find that people have a lot of need for life insurance, I can separate it. So you can get a policy that's just for that, your final expenses. And you can have that policy set up to make sure something happens that's going to go towards the funeral home, and you choose your beneficiary based on that, and then you can separate and have another policy that's for like your home, your loans, education, and all of that. So you can have 2 policies, or you can put it all in one. You can combine it. And I can break that down more because, based on costs, some people do better with 2, because what I find is a lot of times life insurance, your needs are going to decrease over the years. So you might have a larger need for life insurance today, because you always want to look at the unexpected if something were to happen now. Right now, you might still have your home that you're paying on. You might still have your children that are not in college yet, that still are growing. They might be in daycare. So you have a larger need today, but you can get a term policy. And I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but you can get a policy that will cover those needs. And then in 30 years, you might not, those needs are going to go down. They're going to decrease. And then you can also get a permanent policy to cover the final expenses. And the reason I like to do that kind of combination for people is because it helps them with the expense of it. So when you put a lot of coverage into a term, it tends to be much more cost efficient than putting it all into a permanent. And for the customers I face, I try to find something that's going to make sense for them, and also make sure that they have the right protection. So you want to focus on everything, but there's a way you can come up with a picture just for a portfolio just for you. And everybody's situation is unique.
So, Cheryl, you're bringing us some good information. I want to make sure that we have understanding of what you're sharing because it's so key, right? And so you're using words like permanent, term, all keywords, right?
Yes.
So for the person who is new to insurance or maybe needs a refresher, can you break down what that means? Term, permanent, like what does that mean and how does it work?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. So there's different types of life insurance. You have term and you have permanent, and then different companies break it down. Like some permanent products are whole life. Sure, you all have heard of whole life, and then there's universal life. Then you have term. So the way term life insurance works is you're going to pay for your policy for a certain amount of years.
Okay.
And then at the end of that term, your policy is going to automatically renew every year at a higher premium. So it is renewable, but you're not locked into that rate for more than that term. So if you do a 20-year term or a 30-year term or a 10-year term, you're paying that amount for that term. At the end of that term, it's going to automatically renew every year at a higher premium. What you can do if you don't want it to renew every year, term policies are renewable, like I just mentioned, and they're also convertible. So you can always convert it to a permanent product. Term policies are really good because you can cover a large amount. It's like I look at it as an umbrella. So if you have a home, you have, children that are going to college, you have loans, things you still have to pay for. Some people owe like 300,000 or more on their home. Some people have more than 2-3 children that are going to college. If you're still working and your spouse and your family depends on your income and your income is removed, we want to replace that income up until your retirement. All of that can be covered under a term for I don't like the word cheaper, but it's cheaper than putting it all into a permanent policy. So okay. I look at term as good for short-term needs, and it's also good to cover everything. And again, it has its benefits because it's renewable and it can be converted. Now, permanent insurance, life insurance is like whole life. Now, I love permanent products because these take you all the way to age 121. The premium will never change. Whatever premium you're locked in is going to be the same premium. And with permanent life insurance, you get cash values. So it has benefits that you can use while you're living. So it's not just a death benefit. You can use it you can take it out for a loan. Some people use it to help like with real estate. You can use pretty much for anything. If you get a policy on a child and they get older and they're going to college, they can take money off of their policy to help them with college. So it's really good because it's an asset and it's got a lot of benefits. So you can use those benefits while you're living. And then permanent, you don't have to worry about the premium changing after 10 years, 20 or 30 years. It's going to be the same. And it's never going to expire until you're gone. So that's really the difference between the two without going too far into the weeds.
Yeah. So for people who are hearing this for the first time or need that reminder, right? You said a couple of keywords in there, a lot of keywords. You said cash value and you said death benefit. Mm-hmm. Many people, when they hear things like death, they get, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to it's like, no. Can you help us there when it comes to what you mean by cash value? And you obviously just shared that. Can you just re-emphasize what that means? And then you said death benefit. Can you explain what that is and how that works so we're all on the same page?
Yeah, sorry again.
This is all, we have to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Absolutely. So cash values. Term life insurance does not come with cash value. Term life insurance is just to pay for your beneficiaries that lump sum if something were to happen to you. Um, Whole life and permanent universal life products come with cash values. What cash values mean is that you pay a portion every month for your life insurance. So you pay a premium. That money that you pay every month, a portion of it goes into the cost of insurance, and then another portion of it goes into an account. That account continues to grow, and that is your cash value. So this money grows over the years, and if you don't touch it, it can, at the end, it can be added to what is paid out to your beneficiary, which is the death benefit. But if you want to use it, the cash value is yours to use. So it's like you have a premium. Say you're paying $50 a month. A certain percentage of that goes into what it costs for the insurance. Another percentage of that goes into an account that's your account. It's almost like taking your money and putting into the bank, and you're continuing to put money into the bank, but this is your own bank. So that's the great thing about whole life and permanent policies. A lot of people use it as a bank because they say, well, I own this, versus me putting my money in the bank. The bank owns it, but you own your life insurance. You're the owner. So that's one of the great things about it. And like I said, it's a very valuable asset. And that cash value that I just mentioned is going to keep growing. So it's yours to use. And if you don't decide to use it, I have some people that have never touched theirs. When they pass, their loved ones will get the total amount of the policy, and they'll also get that cash value that you never touched.
This is good. This is good. So I'm gonna flip the order, Isaiah. I'm gonna answer Katino's question. I want Cheryl to answer Amber's question. So we'll flip flop. Like, keep put Amber's on the screen. I think for what you're talking about right now, Cheryl, this is perfect for that spot right there. How would you answer this question right here?
How do you verify what the percentage of value your whole life policy is growing? Good question. So when you sit with a professional, what I would do is I'll do an illustration. So in that illustration, it's going to show you exactly where your funds are going. So there's no guessing. You'll literally get to see it all. I can illustrate all the way out to age 121. You will actually see how much is going towards the cash value. Not to mention, there's also dividends that come with whole life. So dividends is another way to earn extra money on your life insurance. And those grow at about 3.5% or 3.8% right now. So you get the dividends and you also have the cash value. So it's a lot of benefits to whole life. And I'd love Amber to sit down and kind of break it down with you some more, do an illustration and actually show you how exactly your money is working for you.
That's good. That's good. Can you go back to Jonathan's question here, Isaiah? Thank you, sir. So this is good. So I want to say this, Patino. So first, I would always say, like, I will always encourage people to talk to their personal financial advisor before answering this type of question, because it can, I'm going to answer it, but it can be different for different people, right? And so I think having a person, a financial advisor or a financial professional answer this for your specific situation, I think is extremely helpful. What I would say for the masses or for people in general in this question is, if you have an IRA that's already working, obviously they have different types of IRAs. For those who don't know, an IRA is an individual retirement account. That's what that stands for, IRA. I would say this is that if you already have funds, whether it's a traditional or Roth or SEP, whatever it is, I would encourage people, whatever that is, let that work, right? Let that do what it's doing. Now, whatever you do outside of that is just additional. But you always want to be careful when it comes to taking out one thing and putting into another, because now we're starting to deal with tax implications. If you're not a certain age, it's going to impact you differently financially. And so that's why I said you want to talk to that financial advisor first, because pulling things in and out of things in that magnitude can really affect you from a tax standpoint. And so I would really encourage, again, for the general, for the masses, if you have an IRA, let those funds work. And then to further build out your financial picture, then you can add things in a brokerage account or if you, whatever vehicle you chose to use. And so that's how I would answer that question right there, just to make sure you are doing it in a way that's not going to affect you too bad as it pertains to taxes, et cetera, there as well. So I hope that that helps there for sure. For sure. For sure. So Cheryl, I have a question here too. So um and I know we're getting coming to the end here as far as short on time. I knew it was going to happen because you get so much information every single time. Like, what are some things that are maybe common misconceptions people have as it pertains to insurance?
Um, well, so many. People think it's too expensive. It's not. Like I said, if you sit with the right person, you can come up with. There's so many different products out there, so you just have to be able to have the time. Life insurance is something you really need to put set time aside for. It shouldn't be something you just see something in the mail and say, "I'm going to sign up for this." You want to sit with someone that can go over your financial portfolio and figure out what exactly you need. So it's not too expensive. You just have to know what you need and go from there. Another misconception is that you're throwing your money away. A lot of people look at term and say that, oh, I don't want a term, I'm throwing my money away. But I always tell people term product, one of the biggest benefits to a term life insurance or any life insurance is you're protecting your insurability. So if you get a term product today, and God forbid 10 years down the line something happens in your health and you might not be insurable anymore. Well, you already have life insurance. You can actually convert that and your insurability is protected.
Oh,
So you
wow.
have to think about that aspect as well. It protects your insurability. It's covering the short-term needs again. Nobody knows, their future. So if something happens, you're taking care of your family and your loved ones. Your assets are paid off. So you will always want to think of making sure everything is protected. So you're not throwing money away. Another misconception is you hear life insurance is for old people, but everybody needs life insurance. Young people, old people, and again, the younger you get it, the better, because you can take advantage of some of the lifetime benefits I was just talking about, like the cash value that you can actually use it in the future. And we have some products that are great for children. There's life insurance that's great for children that they can grow into and they can use again while they're still young and they can use when they get older. So it's not for old people. So those are some of the misconceptions I get. They can't afford it. It's throwing money away. And it's just not the case.
Nah, that's so good, Cheryl. Like the types of things that you're sharing, and this is for everybody. I want you all to hear this very clearly right here. Like I know these are not popular conversations. These are not conversations that people just run to like to have all the time, right? But it was necessary for us to have this kind of conversation. And obviously that we have hit on like protection and insurance quite a bit tonight, which is really, really important. And so I want to encourage us to, as you're thinking about your financial picture, to keep this aspect in mind. It's an area that's I know for me like saving and debt and all that was not talked about in my childhood. So this definitely wasn't talked about. It's like it was never discussed. And so Cheryl, what I don't know about for you or for people who you talk to, like one thing that I did see a lot growing up and still see now is like when the unexpected happens, people aren't prepared, and then people are scrounging things together, trying to open up GoFundMe's and like,
Yeah.
man, I've been a part of that, man. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's very hard. And so taking a moment to have a few needed conversations can benefit you and the ones that we claim we love so much, right? And so, I had to just share that with us right there because, again, those not popular, but it's needed, and it helps you have that complete financial picture for sure.
I'm just going to add one more thing.
Please do.
So just, and thanks for saying that, but you also, I want you guys to think about when you lose a loved one, um, people think it's just about paying funeral expenses, um, paying this, paying that. There's a lot of people that life insurance helps them to, just it helps you, allows you to mourn. Okay, there's some people that can't go back to work immediately. They need time. There's some people that have to take themselves away for a minute. You're not thinking about how am I going to get food. Nobody wants to get up and cook. With having that money, you can have peace of mind as well to make sure that, if you need to get away, if you can't go back to work, your bills are the worst thing is to be mourning someone and then your lights are cut off and then your mortgage isn't paid and this is happening and that is happening. It's like a domino effect. So with a life insurance, and that's why I always do that life needs analysis to see, we want you to have what you need. We want to make sure everything is taken care of. That's why that income replacement is important. If your husband or your wife is gone, can you afford all the bills by yourself? People don't think about every little thing that matters when they're going in and out every day in life. Nobody really thinks about how is that child going to go back to their karate class or to daycare, or who's going to pay for these things. Do you want your children to have to stop doing the things they love because you're gone, because it's just not affordable? So that's why you do the life needs analysis, to make sure everything is touched, and it gives you peace of mind. And the peace of mind, the financial freedom that it provides is so worth the cost.
That's major. That's so good, Cheryl. And I think that should be like a lasting thought on people's mind, like what you just shared. Like tonight, you shared so much great content, so much needed things that should make us think, and not just think, but take action on, like for sure, right? And so, you said something just now. I want to use this kind of as a closing thought for all of us. Is you said life? So what is it? Life something analysis? What was that
Uh,
term?
Life needs analysis, and it's called different things by different companies or different
Yeah,
people who sell life insurance. But yes, life needs analysis.
I think so. So here's what I want to encourage our people to do. If nothing else, man, reach out to Cheryl to get that done. Right? Is give her, and we'll have at the end, of course, Cheryl to give like final thoughts and how people can contact her. But like, man, like just have call a phone call, a FaceTime, however she does it. Just do that, like just to get an analysis done of, hey, where am I? Like,
Mhm.
in all of this. I think that's extremely beneficial. So I'll let Cheryl have the last words around that in a moment there. The other part that I want to just make sure I just mention is, it is my prayer that a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, all of us are going to navigate loss to some degree. But because of this conversation tonight, and you hear this information and you taking action, you'll be in a position to
Mhm.
handle whatever is thrown your way. And that's my prayer, that you hear this, you take action on it. So, in the case that something does happen, it happens to all of us, that we are prepared. And our family, maybe even your family, contacts the church a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, and it's like, hey, you all have something this particular night and it helped my family. I'm looking. I would, man, love that, to hear stories of people who made strong financial decisions because of this content tonight. Cheryl, final words for tonight are completely yours.
Thank you. So just remember, if you're going to help family, loved ones, you're probably sitting here thinking about someone you know that needs life insurance. You may have it, or you may have some, you may not have enough. Make sure you put your life vest on first before you go and try to put someone else's on. Get yourself covered first. But I also want you to start thinking about those people too, because like somebody needs to hear this. And there's a lot of people that never had the opportunity to hear this kind of conversation. You could be that person for them. You could take what you heard tonight and have a conversation with someone that you could help them. So again, I would love to talk to you about a life needs analysis. This is not a pressured, this is not a sales conversation. Just want to make you guys very aware. This is just me doing a service. I love what I get to do. I love educating people, empowering people, encouraging people. That's why I'm in this. What you do after that, of course, I want you to be protected. The life needs analysis is completely free. It's just going to be me sitting with you, talking over your life needs and just showing you your financial picture. It comes with a printout that I can email to you that will show you your entire picture. And it's going to be really good. You're going to love that you did it, especially before we go into the new year. Kind of end the year strong, start the year right. And you can reach me. You can reach me at Cheryl at CherylBarnettAgent.com. I was going to put it in the chat.
Please do, for sure.
And I'll give you my website and my phone number. But I'm always willing to have the conversation because that's what I love to do. I like to help people.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And when you put that in, Isaiah will share it too, so that way everybody on YouTube and Facebook sees it. For sure.
Everybody's seeing this. Is that private? Oh, I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Isaiah will hopefully share this, but it's Cheryl at CherylBarnettAgent.com, or you can reach me at www.CherylBarnettAgent.com or 470-880-8645. And I mean, I'd love to talk with you.
So what we'll do right there, Cheryl, is I want to make sure that he puts is all that on your website, all the information on your site?
Yes, it is.
So let's do this. Isaiah, can you put just maybe there's a lot of information. If you'll put just the website, Isaiah, up, can you share that again, Cheryl, for him?
Sure. It's www.CherylBarnettAgent.com. I think that's right. That is right. You guys bear with me. It's been a long day. www.CherylBarnettAgent.com.
CherylBarnettAgent.com.
Yes. See?
No, CherylBarnettAgent.com. Save it in your bookmarks or whatever else it is. CherylBarnettAgent.com. All right. And then, of course, you all can always DM the church. And if you missed any of that, and then, of course, we can share that with you from that.
Listen,
we wanted to present this tonight, this financial conversation. However God wanted to lead it, we were open to it. Tonight, we had an emphasis on insurance and went in that direction. I'm thankful for that, right? Obviously, this is what people need to hear tonight. And so, hey, take this information, begin to make quality decisions from the information. You can reach out to Cheryl to get that free analysis done that she's, willing just to offer to her church family, which is amazing to have entrepreneurs in this house, in this body that can add value to people. That's so important. Family, that's so important that we can use our gifts, our skills, our things that we have, our expertise to add value. And so, Cheryl, thank you so much for tonight, for all the insight you provided. To everyone this weekend, just remember this weekend, this Sunday, it is the in-person gathering. You'll see Cheryl, you'll be there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I don't miss it.
You'll see Cheryl there this Sunday. You want to talk to her in person? She's there this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Our in-person gathering. Make sure you're there. Man, love y'all. Good night.
Good night.